This is a square D dual isolated power panel, located in an operating room. When we open the door, we see two IsoGuard Series D-line isolation monitors, or LIM. They are different because the top LIM is a 120-volt system, and the bottom LIM is a 240-volt system. Some panels may have two 120-volt systems. Many of these panels were installed 20 years ago, therefore their line isolation monitors are starting to fail.
This panel is equipped with the Square D RA1 remote annunciator on the outside of the panel. It has a bar graph, which they call a meter, and, yet, they are still using it as a meter. We've had no problems in retrofitting out any of their remotes. Even this one here, which is mounted on the front of a Square D panel, we can retrofit with a true digital meter and a bar graph.
We came out with a digital 1-gang meter that fits on that same plate as the RA1, and now the hospital can have an actual digital meter instead of the RA1 bar graph. At a master remote station, such as a nurse's station, we decided to come out with the new SRM-1, which will fit in the same spacing as the RA1. So, at the nurse's station there'll be a remote for all the different rooms on the master remote.
So now we have the mini SRM-1. You'll notice that you have an actual digital meter. I'm going to simulate putting this into alarm, and you can see how it tracks with the line isolation monitor. The line isolation monitor will silence the mini remote, or which you can silence it at the nurse's station, and that's where I think this really becomes a benefit, because now you're at the nurse's station, and the line isolation monitor inside the room with the patient goes into alarm. Now they can go ahead and silence it at the nurse's station, and then go into the room, and the LIM would not be alarming, but it does show that it has been silenced and you're still in hazard condition. So, this has a global silence feature. If you silence either one of those positions, it will silence the other.
Of course, if you have another just LED remote somewhere else connected to the same system, you will have to go to that station and silence it. But if you got the digital meter, it will silence at either location, at the line isolation monitor or at the station where the mini is.
Another feature is you can also test it at either station, either at the line isolation monitor or at the remote. Let's take the fault out, and they track each other. So, the SRM-1 Mini will fit into any position, any place that the RA1 is. Just take their RA1 off their plate and put the new Mini on their plate or at the nurse's station. Just change it just like I said, just take RA1 out and put in the SRM-1 and it will track, but it only works with the Sentry 5. So, you can't put this Mini with a Square D limb or any other limb. It would have to be the Sentry 5 for it to work. Thanks for learning about the Isolated Power Specialist SRM-1.
And you can always reach us at our website,
isolatedpowerspecialist.com.
We hope you will have a very good day.